becoming nurses, about how to become the head of nursing at a hospital. So the, they're new to entrepreneurship. And the things that the people that we like Sajad's group and the groups we belong to, the things we know, they don't know. When I say value proposition, their eyes glaze over. They don't know what their mission statement is. And a lot of times they don't know how to take the love of things that they have and the things they've done for so long and the things they're great at and all this knowledge and put it all in one place and say, well, what can I talk about? What can I impart to the world? What can I do for the greater good? Right, as we said. So that's what we work with on them. We work on teaching them about sales, about the how to set up a value proposition, a business plan. We do all that stuff with them, and eventually, most of them write a book as well, which is not a bad thing to do. So it gets them on the path.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. That that is beautiful. There are so many things that you're creating a massive value for folks that have an idea, have something that they have in them, and you give them a way to use that. And I absolutely love that. That sounds so fulfilling to me to be in that type of role.
A lot of
What do
fun.
you enjoy most about what you're doing?
I like what I do. I like that I work from home, to be honest. I used to have offices, and at this point, after COVID, it seemed kind of silly. So I love that I can walk from my bedroom to my office in 20 paces. That's nice. And I love all the work. I
Yes.
mean, it's most of the work I like. The editing sometimes can get draggy. I do some copy editing and that sort of thing. I love the coaching. I love the project management. I have a great staff, and when someone comes and they want a project, I will put together their contracts and talk to them about the cost, and I will talk to them about what has to be done, and then make sure all the moving parts are working in sync. And that I really love project management. I enjoy that part of the process more than almost anything, and I like writing. I enjoy writing in general. So.
Well, so I gotta ask, do you have any books that you personally have written and are out there available?
Well, yeah. So when I ghostwrite, often, especially fiction, particularly fiction, that I'll say the person who paid me and then my name
Hmm.
as a with. But typically speaking, I've done a great deal of that work, right? I've written books. I wrote a book about a serial killer, and it was a rapist and serial killer. And is it based on a true story? The client really wanted to put this out into the world. She tried to write a screenplay about what had happened when she was in high school. She was in Morgan City, Louisiana, and in 1978, a serial killer who came through and he raped and killed 5 girls and one of their boyfriends. And one of them was a very good friend of hers. And it bothered her a great deal. Fast forward her all these years. And she only had a little bit of a screenplay. I took that and expanded on that. And I wrote an entire book called Warm Bodies, Morgan City, 1978. It's called Warm Bodies. And the reason why it's called that is because at that time, the oil industry in the on the Gulf Coast needed people to work in the oil industry, and they did no checking. They just needed warm bodies to show up and do the work. And this guy was, I think he was a mechanic or something, but I forget exactly what he was. But I created, how do we build a serial killer? And I took him from 10 years old to now he's in his 20s and he's attacking young. He looks 17, 18. They all think he's a young, very handsome. And he was. And they all think, they get involved with him and he does terrible things to them, obviously. So I had to create the backstory of what would make someone be this. How do we break someone to this degree? And I think it's really quite a great book. The Rose Diaries are really fun. Rose Diary and the last pages. That's a good one. So the fiction books I've written, I enjoy. They're really good, and I've done a lot of ghostwriting with leadership books, working with the client. I've done quite a few, and I prefer not to say what they are because I get paid and my name is editor. But I've done most of the writing, if not all of
Gotcha.
it. And I've coached a ton of books, and I think over the last 10 years, we put out an excess of 100 books, and then on top of that, compilation books where there's 10, 15, 20 people in a book. So we've made quite a lot of published authors over the last decade. It's been pretty great. So pretty cool.
Oh, that honestly, that is so fun. Because as I'm thinking this through, I'm picturing folks who they've got their idea, they know they want to do something with it, they don't know how necessarily to get that from what's in their head onto the paper, having it say what they want, and then they meet you. And that's where you can come in and make well, okay, so literally make their dreams come true. This is something that they've jumped up in their
Yeah,
minds. And
kind of.
I love that you're in that position because that's not a talent I have. I can write a little, but to be able to say I could write a book, I don't know about that. That takes to a whole different level. There's so much more with that.
Yeah.
And to be able to have someone like you there, that makes all the difference.
It's a matter of asking the right questions. It's a matter of instinctively, and not everyone has the instinct. I think my writers do, myself and my other two writers, to say, to think of something that you might want to ask them that probably they didn't even think to ask themselves, or questions that
Hmm.
maybe somebody else wouldn't have the guts to ask them, or as my Jewish friends would say, the chutzpah to ask them. You have to have the say, well, what did you think? Really? Is that what you wanted to say? Where is that coming from? To get that out of them, to pull out of them those stories that might be sometimes difficult to tell. I have many times had clients crying on phone calls, and that's a good
Oh,
thing. They're crying because they're getting
yeah.
out the stories that they have to tell, and they want to. They want to. It's not always easy to put those words onto paper. We have one client whose book is literally titled "My Parents Were Pedophiles," and they were, and they trafficked her from the time she was a kid, and uh,
Oh,
she's a family therapist, married 3 kids, 50 something now, but she went through a horrible lifetime, 90,000 words of her story, and we had to work with her on all of it and go through all of it with her. And yeah, so some of that stuff can be really difficult.
wow. Oh, but what an amazing role that you get to play in their lives then. What to be able to put that, oh, I can't even imagine the how I guess I'm gonna use it therapeutic, how that would be a therapeutic piece for those individuals to be able to share that story, to take them, I mean, really mentally to another place with what they've been through. That is gold. I mean, that's something that I think people sometimes are called to share that out so that they can make something of a horrible experience.
It's a little bit therapist. My
Yeah.
favorite book that will never probably be published. I met the woman every Friday at 10 o'clock. I drove to Gaithersburg, Maryland, from West Virginia to meet with her, and I stayed sometimes until dinner. There was almost never a day she didn't end up crying. But her story is interesting. And her father, I believe, is still alive, and her sister is certainly alive. And she didn't want to publish it yet. She will hopefully someday. But she was one of the first children of the Hare Krishna movement. And her parents were 18 and
Oh,
19, respectively, when they got sucked into that movement. And if you're Hare Krishna, forgive me, but it's a movement. And what happened to them, her and her sister, um, she was put in a school at 3. They called it Gurukula, sleeping on the floor. um, they at one point they took all the Dallas police came and closed the school down, and the children were marched through the Dallas airport in raggedy clothes. People were like, "What are they? What is this?" Her father was the headmaster, and he did some horrible things. And then at 14, she was raped by an Indian man who then was sent back to India. She's a little redheaded, Irish-looking kid, and they protected him and not her. And then she was married to an Italian man at 14 to get her off because she was now unclean, and she was gang raped. She has been through everything you could possibly think of. And yet today, she's on her third and final happy marriage, lives on $1 million property in Gaithersburg, and she's a broker in 3 states. She owns 3 businesses, a real estate broker, and she's a millionaire. And how she went from there to there is a story of a lifetime. And I had the pleasure and the privilege and the dismay to sit with her every Friday and write it down. And we did. I didn't record it. I typed it as she spoke. And boy, that was something else.
wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. I mean, really. And to be, oh, what an honor to be in that position, to be able to help with that and to put that together. And I know you said it's not something that's out there yet. So I'm
No.
assuming she's kind of waiting for certain things to
Her mom
happen
died, but her
to get to
father's
that
still
point.
alive, and she's been trying to reconcile to some degree with him. As the last I talked to her a few years ago, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's.
Oh,
I think the first sentence was something to the degree of the monsters are always under the bed. We just, learn to
oh,
ignore them. And she
Yeah.
says, like, I've
Well,
front loaded everything. I can, if I want to sleep all day, I'll sleep all day. If I want to do, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do anymore because I got through all the bad stuff, and I'm not, whatever I want to do now, I'm going to do. She travels the world. We had parties there where I would stay and 300 people would show up. She has more friends than I've ever seen in my life. Just everyone loves her. She's amazing, an amazing person.
it's like, oh, that's amazing. Michael, I'll send it over to you.
I just have one question. I'm curious. Does the process of what you do change per client?
Yes, not completely. The formatting more or less is talk to them, interview them, record, write, have them go back and forth. But every person's different, so you have to deal with every person differently.
Yeah.
In that case, I dealt by going to her house and sitting there with a typewriter, with a laptop. In other cases, I'm recording. In other cases, I'm doing a lot of the writing. Sometimes you have to pressure them a little, get it done.
Mm,
Sometimes you have to lay back. You have to
mm,
know that people are people, and you have to take them one on one.
yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, and do you have a website that you can share with us, or how people can, if they have questions, if they want more information, what do you have a website?
Well, several, yes, but our main
Yeah.
website is ghostwriters, plural, ghostwritersnetwork.com. And we're very transparent about all the different things we do and what it costs to work with us, from ghostwriting to publishing services to website for your speaker author thing. We do a bunch of things, and all of what we do is there. The only thing we're behind on is getting all the book covers together because there's so many of them that most of we have probably another 150 some odd ghost book covers that need to go up. But also GWN Publishing, I find it's interesting when people ask me how to find us and everything. We don't ghostwrite most of the books. So our publishing moniker is GWN Publishing, and we're GWN Publishing LLC for Ghost Writers Network, GWN. But if you go to Amazon and put that in the search bar, like you're searching, just put in GWN Publishing, you get a pretty good idea of what we do because pages and pages and pages of books that we've done show up, which is pretty neat.
That's awesome. Guess what I'm gonna be doing after this? I love what you all do. Oh my
Me
gosh.
too.
And look, so we do have one other friend that is joining us. I want to bring her in, give her a chance to introduce herself and see if she has any questions for you as well. Helene Weiner is has got to be a good friend here of what we do with Ability MKE Now, and I'm so glad you're able to join us today. How you doing, Helene?
Thank you. So nice to meet you. And wow, what a wonderful thing you do with writing your books. And I know that we have other writers here as well. I mean, anybody who could write like what you do, I'm so impressed and inspired. I mean, it's so important to share what your passion is. So yeah, and I mean, I'm all about kindness and hope as well, and helping nonprofits and helping people with disabilities because you know what? So many people with disabilities feel invisible, really, and they shouldn't be. And I'm here to help everyone be seen.
Good.
So
Wonderful.
that's what I'm hoping, and seeing what you're doing. I'm so impressed by what you're doing. And Sue is like amazing. So yeah, I appreciate you asking me to introduce myself. Thank you so much.
Well, and Helene, I should ask you too. Do you have a website that you can tell us?
Oh my gosh. So I have an ecosystem. Right now, I
Mhm.
am the community um, director for nonprofit TV. So I'm a partnership direct. I'm helping with nonprofits being seen. There's a lot that I do. I'm helping with the veterans right now. So do I have my one? If you want to find out about me, LinkedIn is the best way because I don't have one website because I'm just involved in so many things to help people that Google would make a fortune on me if I gave them all the Google searches. I do. Yeah.
Awesome. All
But
right. Well, thank you
I
so
could
much for
show my
being here.
LinkedIn
Hmm.
and I could actually share the nonprofit TV as well that I'm part of. It's all about helping people.
Excellent. Well, and so with the nonprofit TV, is there a website specifically that goes to what you're working with right now?
Correct, there is. So I could definitely work on that right now. I could share that with you. Let me just do
Excellent.
that. And I could also share with you my LinkedIn here. So let me get this as well. Hope I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
You're you're good. Well, and while you're bringing that forward, I do have another question for Lil. So I know I remember reading that you have a professional acting background as well, and I know you mentioned that with where you are right now, that there was something specific kind of related to that that you're in the middle of. I wonder if you want to talk to that at all.
Yeah, I've acted or taught acting or directed most of my life. I was actually in Monster with Charlize Theron. I had a small part in that years and years ago, and some other small independent films. But I have always loved theater directing, and I am on the board of a theater here in Spring Hill called Stage West Playhouse, and I often direct plays here. I work with some of the other directors, but I teach, or rather, I run more or less somewhat teaching the playwright workshop here. And from that, we've created a festival that happens. This is our second annual one. It was something I brought in when I came here a couple of years ago. And it's called the New Works Festival because it's all brand new plays that we have created right here in the boardroom I'm sitting in. We sit here together once every 2 weeks, every other Saturday, and people bring in 10-minute plays and full length plays. So this year we're doing 9 10-minute plays, two shows of that. We have a Friday night and a Saturday matinee, a world premiere of a full length play by a local lawyer whose play will then go to New York after this, and I'm directing that one. And then one of my best
Wow.
friends is directing my play on Sunday, which is called Dinner for Six, and it's a comedy with a twist at the end, not so a little bit dramatic at the end. So that's coming along, and it's a whole weekend of festival. We have food trucks and karaoke and improv stuff. I also run the improv acting troupe here, and I'm going to be teaching acting here now that we have a new board that allows for that. So we're going to be doing a lot of interesting things here. Yeah, as we go along, it's coming along nicely. So
Excellent. Oh, that's exciting. I love, gosh, I actually have several friends who are very much into directing and acting and have kept us kind of with a toe in, not on the stage, but I've only been on stage once. And and that I have so much respect for those who are good at this and come back time and again and can be different characters, can put all the know what to do, to they can get the vision from their minds onto the stage to be able to share a story in the way that they see it being told. And I, I have a lot of respect for that. So thank you for sharing. And I love that you guys have created a festival of it. Oh my gosh, now you're totally in our corner of the world. We're all about how can we celebrate? How can we make it bigger? How can we make a festival of the things happening? I love that. Helene, go ahead.
I am so, first of all, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a movie star. I was in theater my whole life, literally, till I was in college. And then my mom said, "No, I'm not sending you to college for you to be a movie star." So I love theater. And so when you said it, oh wow, yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I would love to do is get back on stage, which I'm planning on being back on stage because I'm all about bringing kindness around, and I'm gonna probably be a bubby. I mean, I am a bubby, but I'm gonna be an actual bubby around Vegas. I'm creating a show called Bubby.
oh, okay, good for you.
So maybe we could talk
Excellent.
about that and see how we could possibly connect that together.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I'm
That.
excited. This will be fun. But yeah, I mean, acting and singing and expressing, that's awesome. And yeah, I wanted to share with you that we have a lot in common, I see.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun. I've directed several shows here, and in my lifetime, I've directed probably somewhere around 50 to 60 plays of different ilk. I
Wow.
started my first, well, I worked in a professional theater at 16, and I met very famous people, Stephen Sondheim and Al Prince and Patty Duke and John Astin and Charlie
Oh,
Winters and a whole on and on. They all just came through this theater. And I went to NYU at 17. I was actually accepted at 16, but I went at 17. And then I started my own theater company at 19 in New Jersey. So I've been running theater companies
Wow.
off and on most of my life.
wow.
And
Are you in New York?
I am not any longer. I moved to Florida after grad school to go to grad school, and I wound up staying, worked around the Orlando area for a while, fringe festival stuff, things like that. And then moved to Dunedin, Florida, which is about an hour from where I live now. And I started a semi-professional theater there. We were regional, kind of small regional theater, uh, traveling troupe. We had an improv troupe and a show choir, a glee club, like Glee, a show choir and a repertory company that did all kinds of really wonderful plays. So I've directed so many Pulitzer Prize winning, award winning plays over the years. It's been quite something. So, a
You
lot of
know
fun.
what? I
Oh,
can we get
I love it.
together? I'd love to have a meeting with you. I would love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we should. I'm easy to find if you don't mind my saying, but if anybody ever wants to talk to me, if you go to Calendly and you know Calendly,
Yeah,
I'm easy to
could you
find
put
because
your
I'm
calendar
Calendly.
in the, yeah, I'd
Well,
love
it's
to meet
easy.
with
If you
you.
you you won't forget this, trust me. If you go to Calendly.com and then you put a forward slash, I'm Lil, my name, the ghost. So it's easy to find me.
Okay.
Nobody ever
Excellent.
forgets it. It's my name, the ghost, Lil the ghost
Lil
on
the Ghost. I love Lil, you're a doll. I mean, my gosh, you're one of a kind.
Well,
You know, and it's really true. You are. It's fun to meet exciting, fun people that are just wow. Talent.
and so this again, I absolutely love this conversation. I could not say thank you more for all of what we've done here. Lil Barkowski joining us with Ability MKE Now.